to all! Today's daf is Rosh Daf Tezvav. We are starting at 11 lines from the top, the first word on the line. And today's daf is sponsored Lili Nishmas, Mars, Miriam, Sarah, Basar, Yaakov, Maisha, her Neshama should have an aliyah. And Lili Nishmas, Mars, Rivka, Basar, Meir, Zev, her Neshama should have an aliyah. And the Gemara says, By Meir, Biechna, Meir, Bianai, Esrog, Rosh Hashanah, Shalei, Emasai. When is Rosh Hashanah of an Esrog? It's not specifically about Esrog, it's about any fruit. When is it Rosh Hashanah? Armalei said, Shvat. It's Shvat. We know Tu B'Shvat is the Rosh Hashanah of fruits. So we asked, Shvat Chadashma, Shvat Tkufa. Is it Shvat of months, as in Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, Tammuz, Av, El, Tishri, Cheshvan, Kislev, Teves, Shvat, or is it Shvat of Tekufa, Shvat of the seasons? Although the months of the Jewish year are based off of the cycle of the moon, the seasons of the year are based off of the solar cycle. So the solar month of Shvat falls out 30 days after Tekufas Teves, which is a slightly different time than the month of Shvat. So Amalei responded to Chadashim, it's the month of Shvat. So now Ba'amine Rav Meir Nachman, Rav asked Rav Nachman, and Ba'amila, some say it was Rabbi Yechon Meir Bianai, Haisoshan Muberes Mahu. What about if it's a leap year? What about that year? Do we follow the month, which is called Shvat, or the time of the year the Shvat usually falls out, which during a leap year would actually be the first Adar? So Amalei, he responded, we go based off of most years, which means we follow the month which is called Shvat. And now before we continue the Gemara, let's remember two important terminologies used when defining Shemitah or Meiser status of produce. Chanata is the emerging of the fruit after the flower falls off, and Lakita is the actual picking of the produce. So the Gemara tells us, Amar Rabba, Esrog bas Shishis shenichas l'shvias. In Esrog, its Chanata was on the 6th year and it was picked on the 7th year. P'turim min ha-Meiser, p'turim min ha-Bir. It's pater from Meiser and pater from Bir. Now what's Bir? It's permitted to keep Shemitah produce as long as there's still some of this produce out in the field. However, when there's no more out in the field, one has to do beer. He has to remove this produce from his possession. Rabbi continues, its Chanata was during the 7th year and it was picked on the 8th year. P'tur b'maiser v'chayeves v'beer. It's pater maiser and chayev and beer. Now, Amalei Abai has Rabbi, Bishleim is seifa l'chumra. I understand that in the seif of your statement, you're going l'chumra. Why is that? Because it's possible that you, Rabbi, are in doubt if an esrog shemitah status is based off of Lakita or Chanata. Therefore, you're machmir in the seifa by stating that this esrog, whose Chanata was during shemitah, is pater for maiser, meaning the owner has to be mafkeret, and it's also chayev and beer. Basically, you treat it like a full-fledged shemitah esrog. But El Reisha, in the first part of your statement, p'turim min ha-bir, amai, why would it be pater from beer? Damrina zil basar Chanata, that's because we go basar Chanata, and its Chanata was in the 6th year, so therefore it's not considered a shemitah esrog, and therefore it's pater and beer. But ihachi, if so, to chayev b'maiser, it should be chayev b'maiser as well, and you said it's pater and maiser. So Amalei Rabbi responded to him, Yad hakol mashimba, that's just because everyone touches it. What does that mean? Its Chanata was in the 6th year, and therefore it's a 6th year esrog. However, since it's still on the tree in the 7th year, everyone's walking into the fields, and they're taking all this fruit, and they think everything's hefker, and this tree happens not to be hefker, this esrog happens not to be hefker, and they take it anyway, so Mela, we just say that it's hefker, and therefore it's pater from maiser. V'at amat chayev v'maiser, and you want to say it's chayev and maiser? Now Rav Hamnuna Amar, he argues, and he says, the bas shishis shechneses l'shvias, if its Chanata was in the 6th year, and the Lakita was in the 7th year, la'olam shishis, that is considered a 6th year fruit for everything, and just because people are going to the field, and they're taking this fruit, that doesn't mean that it's pater from maiser, that means that they're stealing, and they're taking something they're not allowed to take, and it would be chayev and maiser. And ubas shvias shechneses l'shminis, if Chanata was during Shemitah, and it was picked in the 8th year, la'olam shvias, it's considered a Shemitah esrog for everything. But now, so we have a question. Reb Shimon ben Yehuda Omer, Mishum Reb Shimon, esrog bas shishis shenichneses l'shvias, its Chanata was in the 6th year, and Lakita was in the 7th year, p'turim min ha-maiser, p'turim min ha-bir, it's pater from maiser and beer. She'ein l'chadav shechayev v'maiser, you're not going to have something that's going to be chayev and maiser, elam kain gadol b'chiyav, v'nilkot b'chiyav, unless it was grown in a year that it would be chayev and maiser, and it was also picked in a year that it's chayev and maiser. And since it was picked in a year that it wouldn't be chayev and maiser, because it was picked during Shemitah, so it's not chayev and maiser. And ubas shvias shenichneses l'shminis, if its Chanata was during Shemitah, and it was picked in the 8th year, p'turim min ha-maiser, p'turim min ha-bir, it's pater from maiser and from beer. She'ein l'chadav shechayev v'beer, you're not going to have something that's chayev and beer, elam kain gadol b'shvias, v'nilkot b'shvias, unless it was grown and picked during the Shemitah year. So we have two questions. Reisha kashla Rav Hamnuna. The Reisha is a question of Rav Hamnuna. The Rav Hamnuna says that this would be chayev and maiser, and the Reisha of this statement says that it's pater and maiser. And Seifa kasha bein the Rabba, bein the Rav Hamnuna. The Seifa is a question on both Rabba and Rav Hamnuna that say that this would be chayev and beer, but we had said that it's pater and beer. So the Gemara answers no problem tonight. It's machlekes tanaim. The time you have a brayso. Amar Rabbi Yesi. Rabbi Yesi tells us Av Thomas heid mishum chamisha zekanim. Av Thomas gave testimony in the name of 5 zekanim. Esrog acher lekitase lemaiser, that we follow the lekita of an esrog for maiser. Now Rabbi Seinu nimnu b'usha v'amru, or we could say this word is v'gamru. The Rabbanim sat down and they voted and they paskined in usha that acher lekitase bein lemaiser bein leshvias, that we follow the lekita for maiser and for shvias. The Gemara asks, hold on, shvias madachar shmei. Who mentioned anything about Shemitah over here? We didn't say anything about Shemitah, and we know that when we use this terminology of nimnu v'gamru, that they sat in and they